I now give the floor to the representative of Algeria.
Thank you, Madam President. I'm grateful to Japan for organizing this timely meeting. I would like to highlight the effort of Japan towards the realization of the objective of disarmament and non-proliferation. I would like to express my gratitude to the Secretary General for his statement. I thank Mr. Robert Floyd for his briefing, and I listen also carefully to Mrs. Mukhadzinova. As we meet today, we are deeply concerned about the heightened international tensions and the looming threat of nuclear war. Nuclear disarmament is not merely a legal obligation, but a moral imperative, since nuclear weapons continue to represent the most serious threat to humankind and to the survival of humanity. The catastrophic humanitarian consequences of these weapons are a reminder of their devastating effect. We are alarmed by the lack of progress in fulfilling nuclear disarmament commitments, despite the effort of most member states. In this context, I would like to highlight the following key points. First, as a constant advocate of the NPT, Algeria urges nuclear weapon states to honor their obligation under Article 6 and to take tangible steps toward nuclear disarmament. We also call upon to non-NPT parties to join the treaties as non-nuclear weapon parties without delay and without conditions. The inability to reach consensus on the two previous NPT review conferences is a major concern for Algeria. We implore all state parties, particularly nuclear weapon states, to engage constructively to uphold the NPT regime integrity. Second, Algeria welcomes the entry into force of the Treaty of the Prohibition of Nuclear Weapons and the adoption of the Vienna Declaration and Vienna Action Plan. Third, we stress the critical importance of the Comprehensive Nuclear Test Ban Treaty coming into force and urge the remaining Annex II countries to sign and ratify it. 4. Nuclear weapons-free zones are essential building blocks toward a world without nuclear weapons. As one of the first African states to ratify the Pelindaba Treaty, Algeria is steadfast in its commitment in its implementation. We also emphasize the imperative of establishing a zone free of nuclear weapons and other weapons of mass destruction in the Middle East, and commend the successful convening of the UN conference dedicated to this objective. The condemnation voiced by the participating members of the conference, denouncing Israel's nuclear threats, particularly threatening to use nuclear weapons on civilians in Gaza, must be translated into meaningful action. In closing, Algeria calls for a legally binding instrument on negative security assurances for all non-nuclear weapon states and for the negotiation of a treaty banning the production of fissile material, including the stocks. I thank you, Madam President.
I thank the representative of Algeria for their statement.